1 month and 25 days. Wait, this is 6 days? How long it took to actually go viral?
For this product and within the first 10 videos using the strategy. I have a full-time job. You're 9 to 5. I have 2 kids. I'm married. I have a house, right? A dog. And I needed to just cut out like the BS.
Aga made $100,000 in 3 weeks. And here's the crazy part. He only posted 5 videos on TikTok before blowing up. And we're talking about his first organic product ever here. He has a 6-figure job, a family, and doesn't have much time for the business. So we will go dive deep into how he turned his very first product into a massive winner this fast without having too much time to allocate into his business.
Right, so he crushed it.
Yeah.
Again,
yes. I'm a little bit in disbelief, although like I knew it was coming, right? It's like, this is kind of part of the journey. And like, so it was just a matter of time, but if it came fast, like, I don't know what it is, man. It's like, you guys help me pick the product. And like, somehow like the first one, I'm like two for 2. Actually, not really. I've tested more, but yeah.
We can go through the entire timeline. Like you started a while back. You did pretty well on Facebook, but then everything crashed because of a bunch of kind of dumb shit, which you did. And then we're up here again, 100K made with organic after still. So yeah.
Yeah, man. And I'll show you the numbers. It's obviously it's more than that now. And
how much is it now?
Man, so I did, I think 100 since March, 150. And in April, last night, I just passed 6 figures.
Really?
Yeah, huge.
How much more is that than the same numbers on Facebook? Yeah.
Profit, almost double. Yeah, like it's still not a huge profit margin product, but no ad spend. So there you go.
Wait, this is 6 days?
Bro, yeah. So I started here. This is last week. I started here because this was the nutsest thing I've experienced yet. Like 8K days, 9K days, crazy stuff.
Let's zoom out. This is insane.
Yeah. So here's April. You just tell me if you want to see something else. But here's April.
What's the profit margin?
So I got better costs, right? Cost of goods, like sourcing costs rather, in April. So it's like a little rough right now. I'd call it like 24%.
And then let's go through the whole time.
Okay, so here's March through April, and I I launched on March 1st. Relaunched because I actually had a problem. My store got like actually got shut down by Shopify.
I see. 150K, bro. Insane. Congrats. This is 1 month and 25 days. How are you feeling, man?
I feel like validated, pleased, but not satisfied, and confident. I'd say those are kind of what I'm feeling. And I'm thrilled, obviously, like I'm thrilled and grateful.
Well, bro, you deserve it. You deserve it. Like you see how powerful it is. It's at this point, I think, like the product selection done with us together. So let's go through the specifically that process. Did you like the product when you saw it? Did you think this is the craziest one ever?
No, not at all. I would never have picked this.
Why do you think this is good now, like in retrospect?
I've thought about it, and then obviously I have the luxury of seeing the comments, right, which really kind of give away what the viewer is thinking when they see it. The virality is like off the charts for it because I'd say it's like a controversial product, sort of in its natural state, which is like when I look at the comments, it's like, yo, you either love this thing and like you need to have like multiple of them, or like you hate it and you think it's like disgusting. You never want to see it again. So virality based on like wow factor and controversy. And then obviously it's part of a passionate niche. I think those are the 3 like kind of main things.
100%. For the video creation, let's talk about like your first videos versus like how long it took to actually go viral and all these things.
I mean, just given the product, first of all, like it was so weird filming this product. Like I had to get over that mental hurdle of being like, what the hell am I doing? Like every night doing this, my wife, like, what does she think? You know, I mean, she's amazing. I have her support, which is a big part of this. But I had like, I want to say, man, it's like the 5th or 6th video, honestly, like for this product. So not in totality of like every video I've made. And one of them went nuts. Like, man, I think it's up to like 60 million. I think I hit one like crazy. And within the first 10 videos using the strategy, right? That we're taught like, hey, start with doing this kind of stuff. You don't need to recreate the wheel. And yeah, so it really didn't take too long for this product, But the videos took me a while because I wanted them to be perfect. Like I wanted them to be good, and I wanted to learn how to make them better. And
but obviously, like you tested a few other products, like the beginner products first, right? Let's also like include that. So like how much did you first test on these like non-salesy products until you actually started to make decent content and basically ended up going mega viral after like 10 videos straight?
I did probably 20 videos. I'm kind of like going off the top here, but probably about 20 videos of the first beginner product, maybe more, something around there. And then I switched my beginner product based on, I think, a suggestion I got from one of the coaches, like, hey, try this one. And then once I switched, dude, I didn't even make like 9 videos on that new beginner product. It went insane, like tens of millions of views. Like I haven't even looked at it in a while, but it's probably 80+ million views. And the other ones, like multiple of those videos started to get millions of views. Yeah. And so then after that, the first one I tested, and then now we're talking about current product. But I tested a couple of other products a little bit. But when I start to see this one was picking up, I was like, this is why I'm doing this. Like, go all in. Like, go all in.
Yep.
That's when I just cut out the other ones, focused on this. You know my like background, like with the time I have. Like I don't have that much time. I can only do this at night, really. So I just really had to focus on like, what are the activities? Like, where do I have the most leverage, right? So like, make the content. That's what's making the money.
You did a really good job at like understanding what good content is very fast. And I'm sure like the Facebook stuff before helped because you had to do like some things with that as well. Obviously, for people watching this, you shouldn't expect to make like 150K after 30 videos posted. Like usually this takes longer. You found a really good product and also did really, really good content. And that's why it like worked off the bat. But we like have to keep things realistic. I don't want people to have like false expectations. And I also want to tell you that like it could have took maybe 100 to 300 videos longer. You know, you just need to keep that in mind and to go in with that expectation for the future as well. So from here, what are your goals? Like what do you look out for?
From here, I crossed the 6-figure monthly mark. Yep, last night, overnight. So I can check that one off the list. I mean, my next goal is I want to get like 75K about in the bank so that I can quit my job and go full-time in e-com. I also want to get back into Facebook ads. Like I want to find a product that is going to be transferable. I was talking to Sean and he was really helping me kind of be like, hey, you look through that lens, try to look through that lens. Like you can get the most leverage that way.
100%.
I'm kind of getting back into that like mindset of like, okay, so I've now done the TikTok thing. Like, and I'm no expert by any means. Like I know there's a lot of luck involved too in my success with TikTok, but I wanted to learn that skill and experience success with that. So yeah, I think now it's move on to a product that I can run on TikTok, organic, and Facebook, and hopefully run it up like crazy, like Q4. Like I really want to be prepped this year, if possible, to have something lined up so that I can scale like crazy. And maybe like by the end of the year, I can, quit my job and have enough safety net to feel like, okay, now I can go full time into this. And I can only imagine like what I could do if I was doing this full time. Like I could be running 2 products right now, 3 products. So I think that's my next goal is really more about like saving money, quitting the job, going full time.
Exactly. I think this is a very good mindset to have in terms of testing a product which allows you the biggest room for scale. You obviously have an advantage with also knowing Facebook ads, which is going to make it easier for you later on if you already have like both combined, So I would 100% agree with the thought process of, okay, let me stick to TikTok organic. And if I find something that is also scalable on Facebook, this is what I'm looking for. What would you say? Like, I know the answer I can tell you, but like, what would you say are like an extra layered in criteria for a product which is fitting both?
Extra layered in criteria that fits both. Oh, well, I would say TikTok is like wow factor, like much more wow factor, and Facebook is more like it can lean a little bit more on usefulness. That's how I would say it is like.
That's a big part of it. Like you shouldn't rely on 100 million view video, because if a video is mega viral and that's why you made so much money, you cannot transfer that on Facebook. We literally have people who made like 30, 40K off 1 million or 2 million views, which is just insane. campaign, that means that that video is really high converting, connected with that product. And that's something which you can literally just transfer to Facebook. In Facebook, you don't need to have the virality factor. You pay Facebook to go viral. You pay them for eyeballs. So it's a very different thing. And I definitely agree. Like what you said is it needs to be a product which by default, the product itself has to sell itself like crazy, ideally in a specific niche, which is very targetable on Facebook, etc. Yours, by the way, wouldn't be bad with a niche, but it kind of sucks because you have to rely on this mass volume, you know? And yeah, like generally speaking, it might actually be worth a try. I'm 100% sure there are better products out there. When going into organic, like obviously off Facebook, what were your expectations? Were you kind of annoyed to actually go out there and have to film videos and start from zero and all these things?
My expectations were that I was going to be filming all the time. Again, because of the time that I have available.
We should go through that as well. Like you should explain people what the timeline for you looks.
How I use my time on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a full-time job. Essentially, you're 9 to 5. I have 2 kids. I'm married. I have a house, right? A dog. Like I have the whole thing, the whole life going on. My day basically looks like when I was just filming, it was, I take them to school. I work my 9 to 5, pick them up or find out what we're going to eat for dinner, get, dinner ready and get the kids to bed. Obviously my wife is helping with this stuff. We're doing it together and then sit down on my computer like by 9, if I can, maybe 9:30 and just go, just like start. Oh, sorry. This is more like Facebook times when I would actually sit on the computer and like manage an ad account. I'm not very efficient with like having my concepts ready. So a lot of times, like I'm actually sitting there trying to figure out like what I'm going to do, which is not how you want to do it. But so I'll try to like figure out what kind of video I want to make and I'll start making it. Tell myself like, that's the one, make a decision, go, like start making it. And then I would film and it takes me about, still even now takes me like between half hour and an hour. Yeah. So that's what my day looks like. Now I have more to manage. So like, I might like fulfill orders during the day, but I do have a customer service VA now, which is huge for me. So that's what it looks like now. And I think that's kind of like that matches up with my expectations. Like I knew I'd be filming every night.
For people having excuses, listen to that again. Full-time job, wife, kids, and still posting a bunch of videos. This is like what is doable if you actually want to make it work. And there's so many people who literally live with their parents, have 10 hours a day, and have excuses for posting 3 videos a day. It's ridiculous. Whoever you are watching right now, try to compare your situation to what Agam just described and try to see how much of a gap there is, because most of the organic audience generally are younger guys who don't have any responsibilities and can do so much more. You obviously went in with the expectation to have to work for a long time, but obviously one challenge, it sounds like, is the time is pretty late. So you don't have like daylight. You have to film with products which are more indoors, I assume. So let's go through the product selection there as well. Did you keep that in mind?
I actually did not even keep that in mind, to be totally honest. So
it just worked out with this product.
It worked out with this product completely. Yeah. It's the type of thing that I would have realized after they picked the product and I said, wow, like shit, like I can't even film this.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out, and every once in a while, like I can get a video in during the day. Like sometimes I'll leverage my lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of depends what's going on or the weekends, but nope, didn't even think about that.
Did you tell you like your wife and your friends and family about all of this? How do they react?
My brother, like I talk to him like every day, and he knows, like he has a real estate business, so he like knows what's going on pretty much every day, every other day. So he's aware of like the numbers I'm hitting. My wife obviously knows. My brother's like, holy shit, like I'm gonna do this. Whatever. I'm sure everybody, right? I'm gonna do this. So he's just excited for me. He's been able to give me good advice. He'll help kind of push me sometimes and be like, bro, like you should just take work off tomorrow. He's like, just take work off and film like all day.
Yeah.
So he kind of helps push me sometimes. And then my wife, she's like in disbelief, we're both kind of like, holy crap. But the rest of my family does not, they know I'm making these videos. They don't know like these numbers. Like the last time I told them, I was like, I don't know, man, I might have had like, a few thousand in sales. Like I'm kind of waiting to pull that card out and just have them be like, holy shit. Like, like this ain't a joke. Like, this is why I've been a little bit disconnected, like not just from them, outside of important like actual important matters, obviously, but I've sort of adopted, like I've had to really focus and get like distractions out of the way. Yeah, they probably felt that a little bit, but I'm sure they're going to understand once I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this is what I've been doing.
With having like a family, there's much more responsibility, for example, quitting a job. So like you're saying you want to save up a bunch of money first before you can do that. How did you set yourself the specific threshold, and how, like, what's the plan with that?
Good question. That's something also like my brother's kind of trying to like push me to think through. He's like, so the number right now is like roughly 75K. Like I would have not done the diligence of doing like the math down to a science, but I know that I have to cover insurance, right, for the family. And that's like the biggest thing. Like I'm not necessarily worried about paying the mortgage. Like that's a thing, but it's more about like making sure they can cover that and the insurance. And I think I projected that out for like 6 months, 3 or 6 months. Something like that.
Yeah, makes sense. And it obviously also depends on like how much you're making from the job. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing it here.
I can share it. I mean, like, because it's part of my story. Like, it's a good job. I mean, it's a 6-figure job. I work from home, like, so that's why I've been able to film sometimes. And manage some stuff here and there, squeeze it in. So I have to kind of like replace that, but then also the insurance part, right? Because they cover half of my insurance, family insurance. So that's really not that much at all, honestly, when we're talking these numbers. But
if I would be you, I would just not only have that number in mind, I would also want to have the safety in mind that this is something you can do again. You should definitely make sure that you have multiple products at the same time which are working, and have the safety of like not having one account only. If it's shut down, it's done. All these things are very, very important. You need to make sure that like it's not only monetarily fine, but also a bunch of backup structures and backup things you have in place before pulling the trigger on quitting a really good job with a family. It's a very, again, I'm telling a 19-year-old kid who's just like a waiter or whatever, quit it right away, because it doesn't matter. You know, you can find a minimum wage job in a day if something doesn't work out. So it's not that big of a risk. Would it be difficult to get back into the job, or like a similar job like you have currently?
not really. To be honest, I could get back into one. I'm pretty confident within like a couple months, which to me does not feel like difficult. I could even hit the first one. Like it's that type of thing. Like I have enough experience in the role in my job and in the industry, that I can, I have a pretty decent resume, which is going to get me interviews. And then it's like, I just got to have a good interview.
What motivated you to do the whole e-com thing, even though you have a pretty decent job? Like, this is something which I've seen a lot of people go into this whole thing because of pain, because nothing is working. They hate their job, or they don't get any money or anything like that, something like that. It doesn't sound like that's the case for you.
I honestly was like, and this goes back to the Facebook, right? When I even signed up, like, man, it was like September or something of 22. I started to look into making money online, right? I tried a YouTube gaming channel. Like in a game I don't even do, like in a niche I don't even do. And I was like, this isn't working. Like, what am I doing? And then I, kept doing research on just like e-com and dropshipping. And then I started to learn more and more from like, honestly, just YouTube. Then I kind of came across a YouTuber named like Dan Voss. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah.
And he had like this really good series of videos, which kind of like lit a fire under my ass. Cause it was basically like, you're going to just be a drifter your whole life. I'm paraphrasing, right? But it's basically like, you're going to be a drifter over your whole life if you don't like, actually try to be successful and, like take action. That's very paraphrasing, but that's the message. That really helped kick me in the butt. Like, I don't know, something clicked for me. And I realized, like, man, I can sit at this desk all day and work for these people, who are great. I love my job. It's a great job. I know that. Or like I could put the same inputs and get way more output, like insanely way output, which is like, this is the proof, right? We see the proof here. I put in a fraction of the input, maybe not a fraction, but like way less than sitting at, 8 hours a day. That's, I kind of made the decision, like I need to take control. And it was also kind of a hard year. Like I went through a lot of stuff kind of mentally, like financially. And I was like, I'm changing this situation and I'm changing it like as soon as I can. And I set some goals. I was like, hey, in 2 years, I want to do X, Y, Z. That I just started doing stuff. I started getting less sleep. That's for sure. Stopped doing the distracting stuff, right? Like no video, like, man, I haven't watched a TV show in basically 2 years. And, it's kind of funny when you're talking to people and they're talking about TV shows and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. that's kind of the story.
Why did you specifically decide to join the program here, and like what was the decision process?
Just came across your videos and I was like, man, Michael's like seems genuine. And then I saw case studies and I was like, I want to be on a case study one day. And I already kind of knew I wanted to do ecom. And I found out in dropshipping in particular to get into it. Understood at that point that I needed a mentor and coaches because I didn't have a lot of like time and I needed to just cut out like the BS. I needed help. I wasn't going to spend 3, 4, 5 years like figuring out the basics, right? Like even. So that's why I signed up. Like I'm still here for a reason. I'm very happy.
What would you say were like the main learnings from the program?
Well, there were a ton still every day, but main learnings, product research, criteria for sure, like huge thing. I mean, I'm kind of talking about like the tactical stuff, but yeah, like the product research, the creatives, just like how important creatives are. Like I'm finally, even still, like I'm realizing just how freaking important those are. Even just like managing Facebook, setting up accounts. Man, I mean, you guys are honestly there for everything. Like any kind of question. It could be financial, it could be goals, it could be anything. So I'd say those are like my main learnings. Really, it's like product research, marketing, creatives, drop shipping in general, like cutting out, this was a big one for me, was cutting out things that are like not making you money, outsourcing, even just as customer service, like that was huge for me.
This is something like a lot of people just completely underestimate in terms of they don't understand how much more valuable their time becomes when they start running a business. And in the beginning, it doesn't matter if you start answering a bunch of emails or somebody else, like it just feels like a waste of money if you just pay somebody, if you can just do it by yourself, which is like the exact opposite of what you should actually be doing. And like you need to understand that everything you do should be only money making activities. This is your main priorities. What do I do during my day that makes me the most money? Which parts of the business can I outsource to people who can do the same exact job as me, and nothing is going to change? And then I have more time to spend my time onto the money making stuff. This is just something which is a very fundamental understanding you have to have. But people in the beginning are just too greedy to give away money for time. They think their time is like nothing.
Yeah, I've definitely learned that now with this because it's scaled so high. And frankly, like I've become a little like relentless and a little ruthless. You know, I'm not like an asshole or anything, but just even like I really try to like stick to my plan. I know how much time I need to put in. And one thing that's helped is I heard this thing by Alex Hormozy a while ago, and it was like something called the season of no. And it's basically saying no, like getting comfortable with saying no to hanging out, saying no to going to this event, saying no to whatever, watching this TV show, like all these little things. And I've kind of had to like adopt that because it's very easily to get distracted in my position. And every, you know, like, man, I would love to just go sit on my couch like one night and, you know, like watch something and, you know, have some wine or whatever. But that's just not gonna get me where I want to go. So like, even though I do take time to do that stuff sometimes because it's important, that's not the habit. Like I'm already programmed. Like I'm programmed now.
And it just comes over time. And this is like, it's pretty difficult in the beginning, but it just gets easier and easier the more you do it. If you would just talk to a complete beginner, what would you tell them? Like, what's the main advice you would give to a person just starting out now?
If they're just starting out now, I would say you're going to want some help with product selection. First of all, put time into product research. You're going to need some help, probably like coach, mentor, somebody that's done this to try to help you with product research and product selection. Just start. I'd also say prioritize your activities. So like, one huge thing is like, don't build the store, like find the product. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Find the product, then you can figure out how you plan to sell it, build the store, test it, see how it goes. But that's really it. Like I'd be like, start doing product research, like get your account running, start doing product research, get some help picking your products and start testing.
A very solid game plan. And this is like what everybody should basically be doing. It's first find the best product possible, then try to find a way how to market it, and then do the rest. Like these two things, if you have them down, that is it. You basically start making money right off the bat. If you have a perfect product and really good marketing, that's it. It doesn't matter if it's ads or organic or whatever, however you do it, these two components are the main things. And it's still kind of mind-blowing to me how people want to try to do that by themselves, because picking a product, the wrong one, can just fuck up your entire life, basically. Because you test a product, it doesn't work. You test the next product, it doesn't work. You test the next product, it doesn't work. You test a few in a row, you think the whole thing is a scam. Like dropshipping doesn't work. Let me just move on to the next thing or go back to the job. You will miss out on so much things at the same time if you just don't understand why things are not working. There's no solution if there's no vision for the problem. You don't know why this is not working. It's the product. I have no idea. And even if I change the product, to what do I change it to another shitty product? So I think it's just important to understand you don't know anything until you do. And then you can do things by your own. But like until then, it's almost impossible to get things going just like by picking randomly and thinking, hey, would I buy this? Do I personally think this is great? If yes, then let me just test the product. That's the most people's like selection of products.
I can't imagine. I mean, actually, I can't imagine because I tried it. So what I tried to sell when I was on my own, there was two things. There was one that was a lighter that I'd seen on TikTok. You've seen this thing. It's like the dragon lighter that has like the flame and the torch. I tried to make videos of that. My videos were shit. My website was shit. Like the whole thing was a waste. It wasn't a waste of time because it got me where I am, but like just bad. And then I was going to test out that like humidifier that has the like anti-gravity droplets.
Yeah. Those two compared to your product, like from the perspective of a complete beginner, you can't tell which one is better. Like a humidifier seems cool, right? The lighter seems cool. Your product also seems cool. Like what's the difference? And it's very difficult to just identify if you don't understand what you're looking out for, because just looking cool is not enough. From your perspective, how would you like to describe the program to somebody who isn't in?
You've got somebody by your side like 24/7 is what it feels like. You have multiple people you can go to for questions. You have opportunities every day to get on calls that are like pre-scheduled and ask questions. You have courseware in lessons that you can take, that you need to take, that are available, that are extremely helpful. It's exactly what you need. If you need help, this is like the best thing. And I've been very lucky and I'm very grateful that like this was the first like program I signed up for, because like it is, to me, it's like actually very like genuine and authentic. Like people want to help you. And I've heard stories about other ones where it's like you just basically threw your money to get like a course, like an online e-learning course. Yeah, if you need help, do it and take it seriously. You'll be fine.
And this is something which I want people to also realize. Even our course is not enough. Like no course by itself is enough at all, because no matter what direction you're given, you don't know which product to select. I can tell you all the criteria we know. You're not going to have the eye for what a good product is, because there's always some little factors which you can just not see. And this is something which we make sure that everybody has like customized one-on-one support, and we look over the stuff you do. We look over the video. So we make sure we identify the mistakes quick instead of you doing the same mistake for 10 more times and then giving up and moving on, even though everything was perfect except that one thing. And that was what's missing. So yeah, for people who want to sign up, you can click the link below, sign up for a call. We see if it's a good fit. I really appreciate seeing you again here, and looking forward to the next one. And also definitely we'll do an update with you when you quit the job. So yeah.
Yeah, just thank you guys for everything, man. You guys are really awesome. So thanks. And yeah, we'll get there.